Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Srimad Bhagavatam. You're on Canto 6, Chapter 1, verse 55. See. Esha Prakriti Sangena Purushasya Viparyaya Asit Sa Eva Nachirad Isha Sangat Viliyate. Since the living entity is associated with material nature, he is in an awkward position. But if in the human form of life he is taught how to associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotee, this position can be overcome. So, verse is saying that we are associated with material nature. Instead of that, we should associate with the Supreme Lord or his devotee, and then will not be in an awkward position. So sometimes we don't we are in a very awkward situation. We don't like it, but we can't get out of it. That's awkward situation, right? You are in a job, or you are in some course, or you are in a relationship which is not very pleasing. You know, and you feel very awkward, but you can't get out of it. So to get out of that situation, you have to associate with Supreme Personality of God or His devotee. But we know it is awkward, but we can't get out of it because of our attachment or moral obligations or some peer pressure or what will others say, like that. There could be many reasons how why you can be in an awkward position, and also there is awkward position because of the influence of birth, death, old age, disease. That way, everybody is in awkward position. But we can get out. We can overcome this position if we associate with Supreme Lord or His devotee. So means this will be our last time we'll be in the awkward position. The word Prakriti means material nature, and Purusha may also refer to the Supreme Personality of God. If one wants to continue his association with Prakriti, the female energy of Krishna, okay, and be separated from Krishna by the illusion that he is able to enjoy Prakriti, he must continue in his conditional life. Did we read this? I think we read this. Because it says Muktir Hitva Anyatha Rupam Sarupam. We read this purport, so we'll go to the next one. Next verse. Ayam Hishruta Sampanna Shilavrita Gunalaya Dritavrato Mridurdantah Satyavan Mantra Vichuchihi Gurvagni Atiti Vridhanam Sushushur Ana Ahankritaha Sarvabhuta Surit Sadur Mita Vag Anasuyakaha. In the beginning, this Brahmana named Ajamil studied all Vedic literatures. He was a reservoir of good character, good conduct, and good qualities. Firmly established in executing all the Vedic injunctions, he was very mild and gentle, and he kept his mind and senses under control. Furthermore, he was always truthful. He knew how to chant the Vedic mantras, and he was also very pure. Ajamil was very respectful to his spiritual master, the fire god, guests, and the elderly members of his household. Indeed, he was free from false prestige. He was upright, benevolent to all living entities, and well behaved. He would never speak nonsense or envy anyone. Ajamil was very good character. That's what it's saying. So then, okay, purport. The order carriers of Yamaraj, the Yamadutas, are explaining the factual position of piety and impiety and how a living entity is entangled in this material world. Describing the history of Ajamil's life, the Yamadutas relate that in the beginning he was a learned scholar of the Vedic literature. He was well behaved, neat and clean, and very kind to everyone. In fact, he had all good qualities. In other words, he was like a perfect Brahmana. A Brahmana is expected to be perfectly pious, to follow all the regulative principles, and to have all good qualities. The symptoms of piety are explained in these verses. Shlavira Raghavacharya comments that Drita Vrata means Dhritam Vratam, Stri Sangha Rahityatmaka Brahmacharya Rupam. In other words, Ajamil followed the rules and regulations of celibacy as a perfect brahmachari and was very soft hearted, truthful, clean, and pure. How he fell down in spite of all these qualities and thus came to be threatened with punishment by Yamraj will be described in the following verses. So, so Maya is so powerful that we should always feel that we are vulnerable and we need protection. So we should always pray to the Lord to protect us. And even if we fall down, then we come back on the path by chanting Hare Krishna, by praying to Krishna again. Like a child walks and then he falls down. He doesn't remain fallen. He again gets up, taking shelter of the same earth on which he has fallen. He again gets up and walks. So, in one sense, everybody is fallen in this material world. We have fallen from the spiritual position of Jivere Swarup or Krishna Nitya Das. Everybody is fallen. But then there could be more entanglement by falling down further. So, to prevent that from happening, we should always have good association, good sadhana, good chanting, hearing of the Shastra as he was doing, right? Following the regulative principles. So, like that, if we keep ourselves, like Prabhupada says, if you are not hygienically, if you don't take care of your hygiene and if you contact some germs of some disease, then you will have to suffer from that germs. So, we have to keep ourselves pure, basically, by Krishna consciousness, always engaged in service of Krishna and in good association, surrendering to Krishna. So then we will remain pure hearted. And children are usually considered to be pure, but Prabhupada says yes. When they're young, they're pure, but when they grow up, then they develop all kinds of material desires and lust and everything. And then it becomes impure. Because karma fructifies with time, right? So desires also come with time. What a child may not have desire, but then as he grows up, he may have desire to do so many things, and steal and other things also. So, okay. So always chanting Hare Krishna and remembering Krishna, praying to Krishna for protection, keeping good association, simplifying our life and avoiding bad association. All these things can help to remain always on the pure path, Krishna consciousness. Okay, so any other comments? This was well behaved. Who knows?
Yeah, we have to be very careful. Shurasya dharya, nishita durataya. Spiritual life is like a razor's edge. A little inattention, there can be a big accident. So we always have to be very attentive
What is
and carefully monitor ourselves, our consciousness.
what is the analogy Prabhupada gives of the Arab? And
Camo.
you want to tell that?
Yeah, so the Arab was in a tent in a cold place in the desert. He had fire inside the tent. But the camel comes along and says, I want to be in the tent. And Arab says, you don't have a, we don't, I don't have a space for you. So camel says that, okay, but just let me put my nose inside the tent. Just my nose. So Arab says, okay, fine, just your nose. Then after some time, he says, can I put my front legs inside the tent? I'm feeling very cold. Okay, fine, just the front legs. And then after some time, can I put the back legs? And then the whole camel came inside the tent and Arab was outside. So we let Maya enter our life. Little by little it enters. And then it takes over. And we don't even realize that it has taken over.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. It started like in a small way and for Ajamil, but then he should have taken care of it in the beginning. What is the English phrase we say? Taking care of in the beginning means killing it in the beginning. Nip it in the
Nip it in the bud.
nip it in the bud means while it is, if you have a disease and you don't take care of it, then it will become worse. So similarly, when there is some deviation and if you don't take care of it in the beginning, then it will become worse as time goes on. So,
Also, everybody has a weakness, and Maya attacks our weakness. Right.
like, yes, our chain is as strong as its weakest link. Right? We say a chain is as strong as its weakest link because that's where it's likely to break. So, we are as strong as our weakest because that's where we are likely to break. So, if there is a point A and there is a point B, what is the what is the best way to reach from point A to point B?
Straight
Is
line.
yeah, is you draw a straight, you go on the straight path from point A. But if you start at a little angle, let's say there is a, and then you keep going on that path, then what happens after some time? That angle, the distance between point B and where you reach becomes bigger. Right? So it's little bit deviation from that straight line, then little bit more, then little bit more, then you are moving farther away, and then you reach a point C instead of reaching point B. So like that slowly. So this is how it happens. So we have to monitor our consciousness, right? That means we have to monitor our consciousness all the time and take corrective measures as soon as we see that it is not in the right place. So not let it. If we let it go on, then whole lot will be consumed. So that will be that will be difficult. Like disease, what is the other thing? Three things which are not taken care of in the beginning, then it will take, assume, titanic proportions, right? This
Fire.
fire,
Fire, disease, and death.
that, yeah, fire also. If you don't take care of it in the beginning, the fire will increase and increase. Similarly, debt. So, okay. So we have to be very conscious. They say first you have to be conscious, then you can be Krishna conscious. So every moment is a choice, and every moment, as we are reading in Nectar of Instruction, we are Tatashta Shakti. We can go towards Antaranga Shakti or we can go towards Bahiranga Shakti. So you have to be thoughtful. And like Prabhupada said, sometimes this land is water or sometimes this land is land, like on the shore of the ocean. When water comes, then it is covered. Sometimes it recedes. When it's covered, that land is like submerged in water, and then next moment the wave recedes, and the land becomes land. So similarly, our consciousness can be like that. One time we are in material consciousness, next moment we can be in spiritual consciousness, and vice versa. So So as much as possible, we should. Another example is given is that what is that of a car that you drive, right, or a plane when it has to go from one place to another. It's not doesn't always go on the straight path because of the winds and whatever. Because and maybe there is other issues. I don't know, flights, but the pilot keeps bringing it back. So that's like yato 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 yato. Krishna says yato yato
निश्चलतु
manascha.
निश्चलतु मनश्चञ्चलस्थिरं ततस्ततो नियमितदात्मनेव व्यसनं.
So it's the nature of mind to go. We should not feel, oh, my mind is gone, I'm finished. No, it has gone, and I have to bring it back. That's what it is. Again, it has go. So that's it's like a constant struggle or constant endeavor for perfection to keep bringing the mind back to Krishna. So normally, what happens if it has gone, we allow it to go. It's like okay, there's nothing it can be done. It's gone, gone, gone. It can happen like that, right? But as soon as you realize it's not, then you, however, it works for different people. So we have to bring it back. Either you chant Hare Krishna loudly, or take shelter of the association of devotees, read some scripture or whatever it is. You have to bring it back, and that's what it is. So otherwise, we get carried away, and sooner the better. Okay, so what happened to my mouse? Okay, so that's sooner the better means it's less effort in the beginning. Later on, it will require the same thing, will require more effort, and more stress will be there. Like those who eat this gutka, this pan parag and everything. It becomes very difficult to give it up after you have eaten for like 6 months, 1 year, every day you eating gutka. Then it's very smoking, everything like that. So, but in the beginning you checked. First is not even the desire only. You don't act on the desire. That's how it is. But if you acted on the desire, then then check it soon, like that. First is not even allow the desire, not to act only on the desire. So that's the best. But it may not always happen like that. So, and it's never too late. So, so we should always think it's never too late to surrender to Krishna. Okay, so the next verse. Ekadashav vanam yataha. Ekadashav vanam yataha. Once upon a time, he was in the forest. Pitra Sandesha Kridvijaha. Pitra Sandesha means father order Sandesh. Kridvijaha, this carrying out the order of this father. Adaya Tata Avrita Phala Pushpa Samit Kushan. So Avrita means returning from the forest after Adaya collecting Phala Pushpa Samit Kushan. Two kinds of grass, Kusha grass and Samit. So he was returning from the forest after collecting fruit flowers, which was the order of his father. Dadarshi, Dadarshya Kaminam, Kanchit Kaminam is a woman. Dadarsha, he saw a woman. Shudram Saha Bujishyaya, a Shudra was embracing. Bujishyaya means an ordinary maidservant or prostitute. Pitvacha Madhu, Meriyam, Madha Gurnita Netraya. So Madha means intoxicated. Gurnita means eyes were like agurnita, moving, and intoxicated. Mataya Vishlathan Nivya Vyapatam Nirapatrapam. Okay, we don't know all the words. Kridantam is Krida is play. So they were engaged in enjoyment. Kridantam, anukayantam, hasantam, anayantike. So smiling, singing, engaged in. Like in the movies they show, right? How the hero and heroine are enjoying, smiling. And the movies they create a desire, right? When you see all these movies and things like that, they create a desire in you to have those things that are shown in the movie. So once this Brahmana Ajamil, following the order of his father, went to the forest to collect fruit, flowers, and two kinds of grass called Samit and Kusha. On the way home, he came upon a Shudra, a very lusty fourth class man who was shamelessly embracing and kissing a prostitute. The Shudra was smiling, singing, and enjoying as if this were proper behavior. Both the Shudra and the prostitute were drunk. The prostitute's eyes were rolling in intoxication, and her dress had become loose. Such was the condition in which Ajamil saw them. While traveling along the public way, Ajamil came upon a fourth class man and a prostitute, who are vividly described here. Drunkenness was sometimes manifest even in bygone ages, although not very frequently. People were not drinking so much like now. In this age of Kali, however, such sin is to be seen everywhere, for people all over the world have become shameless. Long ago, when he saw the scene of drunken Shudra and the prostitute, Ajamil, who was a perfect brahmachari, was affected. Nowadays, such sin is visible in so many places. So nowadays, such scenes are very common, Prabhupada is saying. And we must consider the position of a brahmachari student who sees such behavior. For such a brahmachari to remain steady is very difficult unless he is extremely strong in following the regulative principles. Nevertheless, if one takes to Krishna consciousness very seriously, he can withstand the provocation created by sin. So you can stop the urges, right? If you take Krishna consciousness, the urges may be there, but you can tolerate the urge or you can withstand the urge, like you can say like that. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we prohibit illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, and gambling. In Kali Yuga, a drunk, half naked woman embracing a drunk man is a very common sight, especially in the Western countries. And restraining oneself after seeing such things is very difficult. Nevertheless, if by the grace of Krishna one adheres to the regulative principles and chants the Hare Krishna mantra, Krishna will certainly protect him. Okay, so the strength will come from chanting Hare Krishna mantra, and then if we adhere to the regulative principles, even if one can't adhere to the regulative, one should chant Hare Krishna mantra, and then that will help. Indeed, Krishna says that his devotee is never vanquished. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Therefore, all the disciples practicing Krishna consciousness should obediently follow the regulative principles and remain fixed in chanting the holy name of the Lord. Then need be no fear. Otherwise, one's position is very dangerous, especially in this Kali Yuga. So, as Prem Vilas Prabhu was saying in his class last Sunday, illicit sex is not only outside marriage but also within marriage, not for the purpose of procreation. That is also, and that uh, keeps you bound to the bodily conception of life. So, and it acts as a hindrance to your spiritual progress. This is the most difficult desire to conquer, right? Is the sex desire, because that is a reflection of the adiras. The what we have is our loving relationship with Krishna. That love, Prabhupada writes, that has transformed into lust in this material world. So once milk is transformed into curd, it is very difficult to change the curd back into milk. I mean, you cannot change curd. When milk is like love, and curd is like lust. So when milk comes in contact with a sour substance, like lemon or something, then it'll curdle and it becomes curd. So similarly, when our pure consciousness comes in contact with the modes of material nature through mode of passion, then that pure consciousness gets transformed into lust, and that's very difficult to overcome. But curd cannot be changed into milk, but Krishna consciousness is so powerful, Prabhupada writes, that even a late beginner can rectify and correct. So if you get the association or remain in the association, that's why Narottam Das Thakur says, Tandera charana sevi bhakta sanevas, janame hoy ei abhilash. I want to be in the association of pure devotees. So then, if you're in the association of pure devotees, living, not just meeting once in a while or so, living with pure devotee association who are very renounced and who are very pure hearted, then you can become pure hearted and also renounced in that association. Like Prabhupada, right? And there those days they were living in the ashram. And of course, Prabhupada was not there all the time, but they had the association of other devotees right in the ashram. And so they were easily able to practice, or there was a lot of taste in bhakti and like that. Because right from the morning till evening, they're fully engaged in Krishna's service. Morning, get up, Mangalarti, go out for Harinam, distribute books, come back, hear Bhagavad Gita, read Krishna books, sleep again the same schedule the other day. So it was going on and on like in that way. Okay, so association with devotees is the what you can say is the remedy for all this. And then, yeah, devotees have to preach in the cities where this, like in New York and other places, it's a very heavy environment, like with all the, Maya is very strong in there. So a lot of temptations and so many things. But devotees are staying there with chanting Hare Krishna, like that. Okay. And also, if somebody is feeling temptation, then better we say prevention is better than cure. Right? You prevent yourself from getting into that situation. So prevention is better than cure. So if I'm drinking or smoking, I want to be away from all. Don't want to keep alcohol bottle in my room because that is easy access, right? If you have easy access, then it's very difficult to control, especially if you are. So there should not be any easy access. So so that is also there. Okay. So in this way, like we have cost of temptation, right? We have cost. C is conviction, means how will you ever avoid temptations and how will you overcome your material desires is first you have to be convinced lust. You have to be convinced about this goal of life by reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Then O means what you have to do. O means
Openness to discuss.
openness to discuss, not with your mentors or with your gurus who you feel you can discuss your issues, your problems. Like you go to doctor and then you tell, I have backache, I'm not able to, I have heartburn or whatever. Whatever it is, you have to tell your symptoms to the doctor, and then the doctor will give you medicine. If you don't tell your symptoms, how is the doctor going to know what problem you have? So first thing you go to the doctor, there'll be a nurse who will come and she will ask you, right? So what is going on? And she'll make some notes, what medication you are taking, what is this, that, so many things. So first you have to reveal what is your problem. And of course, but revealing is not only if you reveal and to the doctor and the doctor prescribes you the medicine, then you have to take the medicine also, right? So it's just revealing is not the only thing. You can say so many things, but when the medicine is prescribed, then you have to take the medicine. Otherwise, it will not, and doctor will not come to your home and force you to take the medicine, right? They will write the prescription, then you go to wherever Kroger or CVS, and then you take the medicine, and then you have to eat or drink or whatever, swallow the pill. So that's up to the, like we say, you can take horse to the water, but you can't make it drink the water. So they can give you all the, Prabhupada says, the gurus can give you all the guidance and everything. But whether to follow it is up to you. Right? So how much you want to follow, how much you want to take the medicine is up to you. So like that. So if you take the medicine, then will become cured. So the medicine, of course, in this age, somebody wrote to Prabhupada that I'm very much disturbed by this material desires, lust, like this. So Prabhupada says, I have given you the medicine. There is only one medicine, that is the chanting of the holy name. So now you have to take the medicine. Eniche aushadhi maya nashi boro lagi. Harinam Mahamantra lao tumi man.
Mhm.
And while
And
taking the medicine, you have to avoid. Like I'm diabetic, so I cannot keep eating sugar, right? And take the insulin. Then it may not be so effective. So, so we have to also do our part in avoiding things that are not favorable, and then also take the medicine simultaneously. So we have two things, right? Anukulyasya sankalpa and pratikulyasya varjanam. We say you can't light a fire and pour water at the same time, and the fire will not light. So while we do activities favorable to Krishna consciousness, we have to also stop the activities that are not favorable for Krishna consciousness. But we may not have the strength to stop those activities. So we increase our favorable activities, and then it will go away. Yeah, you have to say something.
yeah, and Prabhupada says if the disease is not going away, you increase the dosage,
Hmm,
the
correct.
medicine. So increase the number of rounds, increase in quantity and quality. And also it's like, as you said, precaution is better than cure. So it's like a vaccination. If we are going in an infectious area, if we are vaccinated, then we will not get the disease that other people have. So our vaccination is doing our chanting in the morning and reading Bhagavatam before going out in the material world where we are in contact with materialists and their whatever, so that it doesn't affect us.
Yeah, yeah, we have to get our morning sadhana correct, right? So we have to get up early consistently and do. So that's how. Then if we are not doing the thing, and we may have our reasons, right? Whatever our reasons is. Oh, because I have this and I have that and so many things. But Prabhupada writes, and I was reading yesterday, the Nectar of Instruction, verse 3. Let's see what he writes in that. So it's like a discipline, and you do your sadhana, you do, whether you like it, you don't like it. It's like in military also, that's also there. And of course, sometimes there may be things, your health is not good, whatever, but we have to try. In this Krishna consciousness movement, this is Nectar of Instruction, verse 3. We require everyone to rise early in the morning by 4 a.m. and attend Mangalarti or morning worship, then read Srimad Bhagavatam, perform Kirtan, and so forth. Thus, we hold continuous activities in devotional service 24 hours daily. So, like that, he says. Um, so, so we should, if we can't do it, we should not think that this is bad instruction. No, no. It is the right instruction, but I am not able to follow. Then I should work towards following it. How I can do this? So, so that is, yeah, we can improve by following the direction given by the acharyas. And otherwise, it doesn't matter whether you're initiated, not initiated. It doesn't matter. If you're not following the process properly, then it will not work. So Therefore, all the disciples practicing Krishna consciousness should obediently follow the regulative principles and remain fixed in chanting the holy name of the Lord. Then thus there might be no fear. And yeah, so openness and S means safety, which we are saying prevention is better than cure. And T means taste, higher taste. So when you get higher taste, then you are not even interested in all this lower taste. So ultimately, that is the solution. But higher taste, as we were saying, it doesn't come so easy, right? You have to work for it because we are conditioned. So we have to work for the higher taste. We have to make efforts to get higher taste. And that is like to chant every day with attention. And yeah, regularly make effort. Okay. Otherwise, one's position is very dangerous, especially in this Kali Yuga.
Yeah. Well, Prabhupada here is saying that then there need be no fear. However, he said that the problem with my disciples is that they are not sufficiently afraid of Maya. So that's one of the positive fears that we should always have. I will forget Krishna. I don't want to fall down. I will, So that's
That's,
a
yeah, that's healthy fear. Like Prabhupada says, like Devki, right? What is that analogy? Devki is the devotee, right? And Kans
and
represents the.
the Sadgarbhas, six children are the anarthas. So when she was afraid of Kansa, these Shadgarbhas were destroyed. And so we need to be afraid of Maya, then our anarthas will be destroyed. Means know that in this material world we can slip at any time. Being fearful of this material world, we will not, we'll be very careful in our activities, in our association, fearing that I may lose my Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. So normally we are not like afraid. That's what you were saying. That yeah, we're not afraid that we will lose this opportunity. So we take it lightly. And so that's also there. And once you get higher taste, then it's like then also you can have no fear. As Prabhupada says, in Kirtan I feel no fear. Because you are absorbed in the Kirtan, you feel the higher taste of Kirtan chanting, then no matter whatever temptation comes, it's like for instance, this is easy for those who have. Are we even supposing somebody brings nice, not nice, it is abominable, but some dishes like meat or chicken or whatever, all these things that people are very. There is no way you can get tempted, right? Because you just are not interested in it. There's no way you can get tempted to eat those things because you're not. So same thing. This is just an example for meat because we can relate to it. Hopefully, we are not even attracted to all these things. We may have eaten previously or yeah, but now it's very easy to give up this meat eating, generally speaking. But the same thing doesn't happen with lust. Lust means sex desire. But when you get higher taste, then it will become like how you feel with meat. I don't even want to look at it. I don't want, just take it away, as Yamunacharya says. Then you are like very safe because you know in your heart there is no way you can eat meat. There's no way you can succumb to this because you're feeling so much relish in Krishna consciousness. So when you get higher taste, that's ultimately the remedy. So anything else on this verse?
Even Prahlad Maharaj says it. I'm put in the association with these demons. I'm very much afraid of my condition of life within this material world. Of course, later he says that I'm not afraid of this new material world, but I just about those poor fools and rascals. Uh, so I can stay here, right? So he says both things. I'm afraid and I'm not
Yes,
afraid.
yes, yes. we have to be afraid. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is also that, like you go past a liquor section in Kroger or something, you are never going to be like thinking, okay, I will drink alcohol. And, I mean, I don't know. It may happen also. Yeah, we can't say. So,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, you should not like, okay, we can say that, oh, my friends will be drinking and I can just sit with them, and that it should not happen to me. I'm practicing Krishna consciousness, right? So anybody can slip. So
yes, that is
avoiding
there.
is,
Yeah, that is there, and we should always feel ourselves vulnerable. So,
there
but
is a
some.
term like that.
Hmm,
That one who's very confident is one who falls. Some term is there.
overconfident.
Overconfidence. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like sometimes, I used to go in exam being overconfident, and then what will happen is that I'm very like I know all the answers, but then I would skip some question because it just in the paper something it just happens that you are feeling that I will answer this, I'll do that, I'll do that. And some question you just overlook, you just bypass. It has to be answered, but if you are very careful, then you'll see you'll have all the checks and okay, this I know, this I've done correctly. You'll check and double check, and two times you'll check. Like my mother used to tell me, every time you do something in math, you should always go back and see whether you did it correctly or not. Because if you're overconfident and you made some mistake in the first step, then all the other things will be wrong. So it's better to
Yeah,
check.
like
Yeah.
fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Right?
Yes, the angels are saying, no, no, I don't want to go there. And the fool said, yeah, yeah, it's very nice. It's very wonderful. So that's fear, yeah. So you have to always be checking yourself and correcting yourself like that. And one thing is you have to remove yourself from the situation also. So whatever is that, right? So somehow, like sometimes in our meetings, if one devotee follows this strategy, right? If he's going to speak very much like angrily or something, he'll just walk out of the meeting. He'll just walk out of the meeting. And we will think, oh, why did this devotee walk out of the meeting? But he just wants to remove himself from the situation so that it will not. If you're in that situation, you may speak and like do so many things. So you just for that time being because you caught yourself, so you just get out, spend some 10 minutes, and then come back when your mind has cooled down and things like that. So so that is also another way to deal with. Okay, what is the time? 8:05. Yeah, we can hear some bhajan.
Okay, Prabhu. Please tell me.
Or anybody else also want to sing. Preeti is there, she want to sing also. We have Tina's, Vaishali, Shyam Karuna, Charuta. Okay. She's pasted something. Danger in Golden Gate Park.
Yeah, it is about our one devotee only, Govinda Dasi, and she has given her experience about chanting, how it helped her in a horrible situation, and she was just initiated 3 weeks before the incident happened by Srila Prabhupada only directly.
We can read it afterwards. And what is this
Yeah.
book? What book is this?
This was a book which one devotee shared, and the book was available in the Sadhu Sangha this time.
But title of the book? Oh, it's
Yeah,
there.
that's the first
Okay, a
first
place
page.
of. Yeah, I did see that.
Sandalwood and Roses, yes.
Place of Sandalwood.
Mm.
Okay.
So it was related to Ajaimal, so that's why I shared it. And you said na ki how the holy name can protect us.
Yeah, we can
So
read it. Yeah.
it's about that only.
All right. So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Raj. So this song is written by Surdas. सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई दुर्योधन को मेवा त्यागो साग विदुर घर पाई सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई झूठे फल शबरी के खाए बहुविधि प्रेम लगाई सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई प्रेम के बस नृप सेवा कीनी आप बने हरि नाई सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई राजसूय यज्ञ युधिष्ठिर कीनो तामई झूठ उठाई सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई प्रेम के बस अर्जुन रथ हाक्यो भूल गए ठकुराई सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई ऐसी प्रीत बंधी वृंदावन गोपीन नाच नचाई सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई सूर क्रूर सलायक नाही कहो लग करो बढ़ाई सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई Translation: Of all forms of worship of the Lord, love is the highest. Lord Krishna renounced the delicacies that Duryodhan offered and ate vegetables at Vidura's house. As Lord Ramachandra, he ate fruits which were already filled with love from Shabri. Love is indeed the best way to serve and please the Lord. In Maharaj Yudhishthir's Rajasuya Yagna, Lord Krishna served the Brahmanas and picked up their eating utensils. Out of pure love for Arjun, he took the position of being his charioteer, and he forgot that he was the Lord. Such love did Lord Krishna portray in Vrindavan when he danced with the gopis in the Ras Leela. The harsh Surdas is not worthy to praise the merciful and magnanimous Lord. Right. So, I mean, love is the highest. Everybody is looking for love in this material world, to love and be loved. But there is no pure love in this material world. It's all lust. So the only love that the real love is that of Krishna towards the jivas. And yeah, Krishna does so much for his devotees that he becomes their servant. He's driving the chariot for Arjuna. He's eating the bear, the jothe bear of Shabri, and he's going to Vidura's place. So Krishna is not attracted by any of the externals. He's attracted by the bhav and the prem, and that's how we can attract Krishna. So Krishna loves us so much, we should love him in return. Yeah, I mean, the reason that we fall down in this material world is what George Harrison says, that everybody is looking for the perfect person, right? Everybody wants to. What does he say in the Krishna book?
Everybody's looking
Everybody,
for Krishna, right?
Krishna. Everybody is looking for Krishna. They're looking for the perfect person, but in the wrong place. They're looking for the right thing, but in the wrong place. They will not find that in the material world. So, I mean, that's how we fall down in this material world. Um, so Krishna, yeah, the gopis made Krishna dance. So Krishna fulfills the desires, acts according to the desires of his devotees, and the devotees can control Krishna. That's why Krishna does not give pure devotional service to anybody and everybody, because that controls him. It's only the topmost devotees. So, yeah, our Krishna is very merciful and he's very magnanimous and he's very humble. He has all the perfect qualities that we are looking for in the perfect person. So we should love him and we will receive his reciprocation, and that's the higher taste. That we get this higher taste and we get reciprocation from Krishna, then we don't need anything of this material world. Nothing can um, make us fall down.
Mm.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we can read one more verse. Anybody? Okay, we can read this. What Vaishali has sent us. So let's see. Danger in Golden Gate Park. Sometimes Gaur Sundar and Govinda Dasi accompany Swamiji to Golden Gate Park, just three of them. On one such occasion, the Swami stops suddenly and points to some branches in the woods just off the path. He asks Gaur Sundar, "Can you get me some small branches from that tree this size?" and holds up his little finger. Okay, so this much he wants little branches from that tree. Is it for brushing or what? Or obediently, Gaur Sundar crashes through the brush and begins to break off the branches. So Prabhupada wants some small branches. Govinda Das stands silently with the Swami, watching and hoping the park police are far away. Gaur Sundar clambers back to the path, laden with small eucalyptus branches. And the Swami accepts them gratefully, tucking them under his arm. Okay, so he's got eucalyptus branches. As they walk, he strips away the leaves so that only half-inch thick stem remains. Gaur Sundar and Govinda Das watch in wonder, not daring to ask why he's doing this. Then, as if reading their minds, he pauses at the park exit. So they don't know. In India, they use the datarn, we say. So the Swami announces, "These make very good toothbrushes." He smiles broadly. "You cannot have teeth like this at my age if you use only this plastic toothbrushes." He flashes another bright smile as if to prove this point. Anybody seen in India, they chew on that datarn called Gujarati, but nowadays no, not you don't see so much. But previously, old people would used to do that. He later teaches Gaur Sundar and Govind Dasi how to use the twig toothbrushes. He tells Gaur Sundar to cut the long stems into 6 or 7 inch pieces. Then Swamiji chews at the tip end of one such twig. When the tip becomes soft and frayed, he then brushes his teeth vigorously. So first you chew it, it becomes soft, and with that, you you brush using horizontal back and forth motions throughout his mouth. He explains this should be done in early morning, and all impurities in the gums will come out. Then Swamiji recalls, "My Guru Maharaj would never use these modern toothbrushes. They are very dirty, full of bacteria. He always used such twigs, and he had excellent teeth his whole life. In India, we use mango twigs. Here, birch can be used, but eucalyptus or neem is the best. It has its natural antiseptic." He smiles again, deliberately showing his full white teeth. So, Proof is that Prabhupada has full white teeth. He tosses away the used twig, washes his hands, and then carefully wraps the remaining twigs in plastic and places them in the refrigerator for next day use. Gaurasundar and Govinda watch in amazement. Of course, refrigerator. Usually it's not kept in the refrigerator, I don't know, but Prabhupada put it. Gaurasundar and Govinda watch in amazement. They're impressed. He's teaching them how to live, even the small things. Gaurasundar and Govinda Dasi think the Swami is wonderful. Everything he says or does is fascinating. He has become the center of their lives. They talk about him constantly and think of him even in their dreams. They are so attached to Srila Prabhupada. Another day, perhaps only 3 weeks after meeting Swamiji, Gaurasundar and Govinda Das walk with him in the park. The February days are beautiful and sunny, with perfect temperatures in the 70s. Okay. The weather is warming early and the fog is rolling off, leaving the skies a clear blue. Golden Gate Park, San Francisco, I think. Golden Gate Park, yeah, is green with lush foliage and all varieties of plants from all over the world. It reminds Swamiji of Lord Chaitanya in Dandakaranya forest. So there's a lot of greenery in the US, right? We see some parks are. He speaks softly while walking. In the spiritual world, all trees and plants are fully conscious, Krishna conscious. When Lord Chaitanya wandered through the forest, not only the animals but also the trees and creepers were happy to see him. And they are what they do? They are generally what they are doing. The trees and they are
Uh,
bending.
Chaitanya.
No, when Krishna told
Oh,
Balram,
they bend down.
they are bending down. Yeah, Krishna is telling, see how these trees are offering respects to you by bending down. They welcomed him. Even the tigers would dance and chant Hare Krishna. He smiles as if this forest has become Dandakaranya. Govinda Dasi looks around thinking, plants happy, tigers dancing, trees rejoicing. It sounds incredible. And they were also, the deer and the tiger were kissing each other. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going in Dandakaranya and he touched a tiger with his feet. Balabhadra Bhattacharya was also with him. And he was thinking, he was praying the tiger never wakes up. But as soon as he and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched his feet, then tiger started chanting Hare Krishna, something like that. And then he went into a pond and he splashed some water on an elephant. And then he said, chant Hare Krishna. And they also chanted. The elephant, the tiger, the deer, they were embracing and kissing each other like that. It sounds incredible, yet she accepts whatever the Swami says as the absolute truth. She has no problem with anything he says, no matter how outrageous it may sound to an average American. So whatever is Prabhupada is saying, she's believing. Although she's American, it sounds very improbable that the tigers were dancing and chanting. Both Gaurasundar and Govindasi are spellbound, in love with the Swami and his divine presence. Yeah, sometimes it's difficult to accept all these things, right? That how can tigers chant and deer and they are embracing each other? The deer run away from the tiger. We never have any experience. But Lord can do anything. So that's another way we should look at it. He has inconceivable potency. He can do anything. On this day, however, something shocking happens, something that gives Govindasi implicit faith in the holy name. As Swamiji and Gaurasundar turn towards home, the pathway curves to the left. Govinda Dasi knows she can shortcut through the forest here and meet them on the other side when the path curves to the right again. It will give her a much needed forest break, she thinks. A few deep breaths of forest air, some pranayam to refresh her body and mind, a few moments alone with the trees. In her yoga practice, she has become attached to being alone in the woods, and this mood still beckons her. So she will take a shortcut and meet Prabhupada and Gaurasundar. She wants to go alone. Talking about tigers and trains, Gaurasundar and the Swami walk on, hardly noticing her quick exit. So she just like escaped, kind of, from the back. She happily treks into the woods, where she ducks through the brush and finds a small clearing surrounded by trees. Breathing deeply, she ecstatically finds her lungs with fragrant forest air, feeling the pulse of Mother Nature all around her. So she is going through a very wooded path where a lot of trees are there. So she feels very nice. Suddenly she hears the crashing of branches coming from behind. Govindasi quickly turns around and sees a dark, sinister man rushing towards her. She screams. So the man is coming and running. Instinctively, she feels she is facing the face of death. He grabs her and throws her down onto the ground, holding his big hand firmly around her neck. She is small and no match for his strength. She smells the stench of liquor on his breath, and somehow she knows he intends to rape and to kill her. He has one hand around her neck, and with other he starts tugging at her jeans. His heavy body pins his heavy body pins her to the forest floor. She is helpless. Govindadasi begins to chant sincerely in a frightened, pleading voice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The atmosphere shifts. The man suddenly jumps up, backing away in fear. He is shaking all over, as if he has seen something truly horrifying. Must have seen Narsingadev. Perhaps something from some other dimension. His face is blanched with terror and he stutters. If you are gonna act like that, then I just get out of here. And he backs away. Govindadasi grabs her brown paper sack carrying the first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam and runs as fast as she can, crashing through the trees, out of the forest, and onto the path. Running to catch up with the Swami and Gaurasudha. They are near the park exit. She can hardly speak, breathless and overcome with fear and shock. Krishna has saved her life. She knows it. Something mysteriously happened there in the woods. She doesn't really know what, but she knows Krishna saved her. Now has firm faith in the holy name. She has only been chanting Hare Krishna for a short time, yet her call for help was heard by the Lord. Later, when they tell the Swami what happened, he shakes his head and says, "Just see, Krishna has saved you. You would have died a horrible death, but he sees you are trying to become his devotee, so he has mercifully saved you. He is crossing off your account, your karma account." He pauses. "But don't go alone into the forest. Don't go alone into the forest anymore," he orders. Then in a more fatherly tone, "Don't go there. It is not safe for you." Govindadasi feels his fatherly love and concern for her. She agrees that her forest days are over. Govindadasi realizes the love between guru and disciple is the most pure form of love in this world. She thinks the love is so pure, it is completely unselfish, completely devoted to the welfare of the disciple. And the ideal disciple is totally devoted to the service of the guru. She contemplates. Love for the guru is the highest love. Nothing can compare with this love. It transports one to the highest consciousness. Sorry. God consciousness. The Guru is like a sacred passageway leading on a holy pilgrimage to the lotus feet of the Lord. It is more precious than even the love of a father or mother. And this love for the Guru leads to love of God. Tearfully, she thanks Krishna for saving her life so she can continue to serve Swamiji. Nice. So, even George Harrison, when he was attacked, I think he was chanting Hare Krishna very loudly. There was an attack on George Harrison. And somehow I think he was saved. Let's see. And there was another incident when Tamohar Prabhu in Elachua, he was distributing books in a parking lot. It was late in the evening. I remember reading this. And then somebody was noticing him that he is collecting all the money from all the books. So he came with a gun. And there was hardly anybody in the parking lot. And he had parked his van. So he came with a gun. It was evening time. And he said to him, "Hand me all your money that you have," and like that. Threatened him with his life. And then Tamohar Prabhu, he was chanting Narsingadev prayers loudly. And suddenly this man he turned around and he went away. And it was not very heavy. What happened? Suddenly, what happened? Like how this man ran away. So it must be Prabhu, Narsinghadev coming and saving him. So let me see if I can find so many devotees. So we take shelter of the holy names. Even Gajendra, right? He was in distress. He was in a dangerous situation. And he remembered a mantra he chanted in his previous life. And then his devotion awakened. He offered prayers, and then Lord Vishnu came. So Prabhupada writes in that purport in the 8th canto that one should always practice chanting some mantras like that, and that will protect one. So mantra means Krishna is there, right? Because the mantra is not different from Krishna. Okay, so I cannot find that article by the Mahaprabhu. But George Harrison, yeah, he was attacked. He was chanting Hare Krishna loudly also. So we are always in dangerous situation in this material world. So we should always.
Maharaj, right?
He was also chanting Krishna. Like this is some non. This so he's saying ex Beatle, the George Harrison, invoke peace chant to fight off. Thought nothing of yelling Hare Krishna as he tried to frighten away an intruder in his house. His wife Olivia was beaten in the attack, hit the man over the head with a fireplace poker and a lamp, and grabbed his testicles. A court heard Tuesday that Harrison, 57, used the familiar mantra of 1970s in an attempt to put the intruder off guard as he threatened George and wife with part of a garden statue and then a knife after breaking into their 120 room mansion in Oxfordshire. 120 room mansion. Both were stabbed, not seriously, by Michael Abram, 34, a father of two children, who believed the Beatles were witches, and Harrison. So they have their. Michael was thinking they are witches. And Harrison especially had taken possession of his person. Witches and Harrison especially had taken possession of his person and had to be killed on the orders of God. So he was hallucinating. So in a court hearing, Abram, the one who attacked, denied 2 counts of attempted murder and aggravated burglary on the grounds of insanity. Then paramedic Andrew Tickle told the court that Abram told him, I should have got the bastard better. I did it. It was me. Abram travelled several times from Liverpool in northwest England, his hometown, as well as that of the four Beatles, to find Harrison's mansion. So he was plotting 4 times he had come. Early on the morning of the attack, he managed to get into the couple's mansion by smashing a kitchen window with a garden statue. Harrison went to investigate the noise as his wife called the police. Realizing someone had broken in, Harrison and his wife hid in a room next to their bedroom. Abraham, by then armed with a knife and a pole from a broken statue, called out, You get down here, you know what it is. Harrison shouted back, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, but then decided to confront the intruder. Soon afterward, Abram allegedly stabbed Harrison repeatedly in the chest and beat Olivia up during a struggle when she first grabbed Abram's testicles and hit him over with a head with a brass poker and with a table lamp. Police found her beaten senseless when it arrived and arrested Abram. So, like that, it's okay. So maybe the Hare Krishna saved his life chanting Hare Krishna. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen, so I got disconnected. All right. So there is a verse, right, in the, what is that? Patita Skalita. I was preparing for my holy name presentation. There, Bhagavatam says, right, that 6 to 15. It says, Patita Skalito Bhagnaha Sandashtas Tapta Ahata Harir Iti Avashenaha Avasan means death. Avashenaha, or accidentally it says Puman Narhati Yatana. It says if one chants the holy name of Hari and then dies because of an accidental misfortune, such as falling from the top of a house, slipping and suffering broken bones, while traveling on the road, being beaten by a serpent. So many ways we can die. Being afflicted with pain and high fever, or being injured by a weapon, one is immediately absolved from having to enter hellish life. Okay, this is different, but yeah, even though it's sinful.
Yeah. We have the example of that Muslim who was attacked by the boar and he said haram, which is a curse word in Muslim, but that had the word Ram in it. So they say that he was liberated.
Haram,
Chaitanya Char.
haram. Yeah, oh Ram, like that. Yeah. So, okay, so let's continue with this Bhagavad tomorrow. And we are going to, maybe we can hear this Gopi Geet a little bit. That will also finish Gopi Geet appreciation.